It's time for Starting Block, our monthly look at startups shaking up business as usual. Now, today we explore a $47 billion market which used to have some stigma attached, male grooming. Now, startups like Akuffo are trying to strip all that away with their hair replacement options for the modern man. Now, they're among a number of startups tapping into the unmet needs of male consumers. Men also buy more than 80% of their grooming products from brick-and-mortar retailers, so stores are adapting their layouts and online companies are using pop-up shops. Now, research group Euromonitor predicts the global male grooming market will hit nearly $61 billion by the year 2020. Western Europe leads the way, worth nearly $12.5 billion, but the Asia-Pacific region is hot on its heels as the highest growth market. Well, for more on this, I spoke to Nicholas Micallef, Senior Industry Analyst at Euromonitor International for beauty and personal care. I began by asking him which products and services men are spending their money on.
Men increasingly still use skincare products and fragrances, but we see brands launching into areas such as unwanted hair or hair loss, and that's a testament that these are issues that men secretly care about. Now the internet, has made that easier just because there's less shame in actually buying these products, and we see that innovation will be headed into this direction in the future, especially in markets such as the US, where the trend is heading towards premiumization of the market.
So you touched on a few countries, but what would you say are the biggest markets right now, and then which countries also have the most potential for growth in male grooming?
So, as I was saying, the US, China, Brazil, and India, are among the markets that are delivering fast growth. Over the next 5 years, the men's grooming market is expected to add about $17 billion in constant prices. A third of that will be delivered by the US and Brazil only, which is quite significant. We see brands such as, markets such as India and Brazil, for example, are expected to grow in double digits. So naturally, these are the markets which will make a huge contribution as more and more consumers in emerging markets, adopt a beauty routine and buy these products.
Now, give us some examples of how companies are really trying to engage their male consumers.
Okay, so I think one of the key aspects we see is that subscription boxes. Dollar Shave Club, Harry's, Stopbox, Cornerstone, to name a few. These are all men's subscription boxes. They take advantage of the fact that men, as we know, they don't necessarily enjoy hopping from one shop to the other to browse, but they do enjoy browsing online. So naturally, subscription boxes work well in this regard, just because men have their products delivered to their door, and also encourage them to change their blades, for example, or products when they need, without having to actually go to a physical shop. So I think subscription boxes is one key strategy that's working well. We also know that companies such as the American company DCM owns a brand, for example, which is called AB Crew, positioned for muscle enhancement and muscle recovery. And this brand is sold at gyms just because they believe that men are at gyms actually, rather than department stores or any other beauty specialist stores.
Any advice for entrepreneurs who are seeing the momentum in this space, who'd really like to take advantage of it?
Yes, I would say is that they need to look at, in the developed markets especially, they need to look at the issues that men secretly care about, such as I was saying, hair loss and unwanted body hair. So these are the issues that they really care about. I think I also believe that at the moment, most beauty specialist stores are very much female-oriented. So I think there needs to be a rethink, actually, how to distribute these products. And I think, as I was saying earlier, DCM does a very good job at selling at gyms, because it's where men are. So I would say they need to target, in terms of distribution, where men are and innovate in areas which men secretly care about. As we said, unwanted hair, muscle enhancement products, these sort of areas.
And looking ahead, is there anything you see on the horizon that people should be aware of?
I would say is, in terms of markets, India and Brazil, these are markets that are expected to grow in double digits over the next 5 years, as there will be more and more uptake by consumers, by male consumers, especially as they lead urban lifestyles. They face, more career pressures to perform, so naturally they want to look and feel good.
Any sorts of changes you think, in terms of competition then, between brands trying to balance their interest of female products when you have this up-and-coming male grooming market?
Obviously, we see that key brands, which we've always known, like such as Lynx, for example, the deodorant brand, Gillette, Nivea, they will always be big. They're quite significant in size. Obviously, they face pressure from niche brands. So what they're doing is obviously innovate faster. We know that Gillette, for example, launched the Pro Glide razor, for example, and it launched its own subscription box because it needs to compete. So naturally, we see that niche brands will proliferate. We also see that niche brands and local brands are proliferating in emerging markets to take advantage of the fast-growing men's grooming market. For example, in India, a niche brand called Bombay Shaving of India, it's taking advantage of the fact that more men in India and in Indian mega cities, they want to look good. So we see a proliferation of niche brands, and I think what big companies need to think about is which brands are delivering fast growth, learn from them, and perhaps also take the acquisition route.